but just really just some pointers to help you not get beat as much, and also just force guys where you go. Because the idea is, as you guys get older, you start playing against better talent, you may not be able to stop everybody all the time, but if you can force guys to take bad angles, to make bad passes, right, then the other 6 guys, including the goalie on the field, are going to be able to be in a position where they can help you out.
Coach Kell, anything to add before we jump into this clip?
No, that's great. Nick, which one do you want to kick off with?
If you see anything that's like a wing or up midfield dodge, you can throw those on there. And then
offense by Redwoods in X Dodge GLE week 1.
Just fire them up down the line, Trey.
No, if you click, you gotta click into the week 1 folder.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you click into that, then there should be 7 clips that are kind of better labeled, and then
perfect.
So anything like midfield related or up top,
like a high wing.
Yeah, high wing stuff.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna share my screen here, guys.
Yeah.
Are you guys seeing mine?
No.
Not yet.
Did you make him the host, Greg?
Yeah, let me make him the host.
There we go.
Here we go.
Oh, now we're cooking.
You guys business?
Yep.
So you want this high wing one here?
Yeah, we can go with this high wing up. Yep, perfect.
All right, let's fire that up.
So what we'll do is I think let's play the clip, and then we can run it back. Just let the kids see it once, and then just run it back.
Just mark down the time that you want me to stop it.
Yeah. All right, Trey, so run that one back. So really the one I wanted you to show is this is actually for you guys that, know him pretty well. This is Coach Pfister on ball up here.
You want to go all the way back?
Yeah, all the way up. Yeah, the dodge at the beginning of the clip. So, the one thing to realize about good defense is it's really boring. When someone plays really good defense, you're probably not going to notice it happen because there wasn't a play by the offense. But this clip right here I think is really important is, as you can see, right, Coach Pfister has got a stick up field. Right, his body is taking away the middle of the field. And then as you run this, watch how he stays patient in staying on the back shoulder of the guy. That offensive player throws a little hesitation movement there to try and roll back top side. But Coach Pfister does a really nice job of just staying with his guy. The rest of the team doesn't need to slide because he's doing a good job on ball, and nothing happens. And that seems like not a big deal. But to do that consistently is going to be a real big part of being a really good one-on-one defense. And a lot of times people are like, well, how do you know good defense from bad defense? If the offense doesn't have anything happen where there's no slide, there's no, chaos or anything crazy going on, and that means the person on ball played really good defense, and it looks just as simple as this does right now, but there's a lot that goes into it. So he breaks down, right? He kind of gets his stick out in front of him. He sits on the back hip, and then he delivers that cross check right on the bottom hip, and that guy's got nowhere to go.
Hey, Coach Neek, can you address 2 additional things here? Can you talk about why it's so important that you trail that quarter step and you play that back shoulder? And then also, can you talk about hand placement with, we've obviously had issues, across the state of Ohio where people are being taught to put their hands together. And I know it sounds simple, but we have some of our best players in our program that still have a habit of putting their hands and going for that kayak. So if you could just talk through that right here and Coach Pfister.
Yeah, so obviously the first thing is, I'll even go back a step further, is if you guys notice on the football field, right, Coach Pfister's outside the 30-yard line, which is above the box for you guys. Obviously, we don't have a box in TLL. We have a 2-point arc, but 30-yard line, 35-yard line. So he's addressing the ball real nice and early. And then the reason, the first part about this clip is as this guy kind of goes down and hesitates, right? The reason why you want to stay on that back hip is because you don't want this guy to roll back. See, right now, when this guy freezes and he's in this spot, first of all, he's reading the slide, but second of all, he's gauging whether or not he can roll back on Tyler Pfister in this clip. But Pfister you can see how he's allowed him to stay a step ahead of him because it's not a big deal because as that guy dodges down the wing, his angle on the goal is decreasing every step that he takes down the wing. If Coach Pfister, when we go back and show it one more time, if Trey, you can pause it right where you pause it, where Tyler's kind of right, like behind him a little bit deeper. Go ahead. So like right here. So as you can see, right, Coach Pfister's that left shoulder that he's got right there is still above that guy. So this guy plants. Coach Pfister puts his foot in the ground because he knows that this guy's trying to roll back, and he keeps that left shoulder above his opponent, which means that for his opponent to have to get top side, he have to run through Coach Pfister on this clip. So by stopping, staying about a half step behind, right, you prevent that rollback. And then as this guy gets a little bit deeper into his dodge, Coach Pfister delivers that cross check. Nothing too crazy. It's not really high up. It's real subtle, right on the hips. And I know a lot of you guys, play in different areas in Ohio, and, the officiating is still trying to catch up to the speed of the game and what's going on. But if you deliver a cross check across the hip, right, nice and low, there's going to be no ref that calls it because it's not a penalty. So, it's just one thing to kind of take away from that one. If we can go approach after helping, Train, you see that one?
So important for you guys to not give up the middle of the field.
Yeah. So this one obviously, these clips are obviously show you a little bit of kind of what's going on before the actual play happens. This one involves myself. So obviously this team is subbing as you're watching this. As you can see, right, we're taught to be really aggressive and get out and play guys. And what will actually happen is, Train, you can pause it kind of right here. So what can happen is I'm actually on the back side right now. So on the front side, there's a little bit of a two-man game going on and some dodging. And if you can see where the mouse is circled, I'm actually on the back side. I'm going to have to be in a help position and then really approach and kind of take away top side here. And I'm going to pump my own tire, and I cause a turnover. So obviously I put that on there. So, so we got on-ball action. We kind of get a slide. This team swings it through the backside. So at first I'm helping in, and now I've got to approach, a really good player, right? Getting out to the ball.
Nick, I want to talk right here. Everybody take a second. This is a great job, Coach Kelly, working the film here. Everybody take a look at where Coach Nick's left foot is. Coach Alexander's left foot right here. Do you see how it's above Connor Kelly's right foot? So right now, Coach Alexander, by his approaching and curling out and taking away that top side, he's automatically, by his position, forcing Connor Kelly down the wing and not giving him a great angle. If he was flat, imagine if Coach Alexander was 2 steps lower, basically on that 20-yard line. If he came and approached there, he would get run by to the middle, which would be an easy shot for this player. If you get to the middle, it's so much harder for a goalie to try and make that save. So just by where Coach Alexander approaches, he sets himself up for success on the defensive end.
Yeah, 1 second before you roll it, Train. So for you guys that are short stick midfielders or even long poles or things like that, so as I go out to this guy, right, and I'm thinking I got to buy the defense behind me time, because I know that chances are I'm probably going to get a little bit of help, but the fact that we just rotated, if we can go back, Train, to like where I've got to like get out.
Yep.
So as this ball and I'm going out to this guy, I'm like, okay, I got to buy the defense probably 4 to 5 seconds to recover, recognize where the hot guy's got to be. And I know that if I get beat after those 4 or 5 seconds, I'm probably going to have help. If I get smoked, like Coach Greg just mentioned, right off the bat with a bad approach, then the rest of my team is not going to be in a position to help. So even though, honestly, I didn't like the fact that I let this guy get a little bit topside, I probably should have forced him underneath a little bit more. I know that I had to come out and play him a little bit more straight up to match his feet a little bit in order to make sure that I bought the rest of my team time. And then, obviously knowing a little bit about this player and the scout, I'm able to kind of match feet with him, keep that top side integrity, and then get a good cross check at the end here, and then force the turnover out of bounds. So you can run this.
Yeah,
one.
hey, Nick, I just wanted to highlight one thing. If you guys look at this clip right now where I have it frozen, you see Coach Nick there at 23. He's got his hand up. He's communicating, right? And we talk to you guys a lot that play box for us about calling out your matchup and calling out who you're defending, right? Nick right here is talking to his guys, and I guarantee you, Nick, I don't know this, but I'm assuming you're talking through your matchups on who you want to guard, right?
Yep, exactly.
If you watch him, his hand goes up, he's going to call out who he's got. Here he is. Okay, I got this guy. Here's my matchup. Everybody's in the right spot. We got right here, we got our long pole on the guy that we want him matched on, and then we're in business.
Yep, so we'll run this through. Like I said, we got the on-ball action. First, I've got to help to make sure we cover up the inside. Then I got to sit and break down, right? When I break down, I've got my hands in a spot where I can deliver a cross check. I step up field. I'm okay with this guy here, shooting with his weak hand, no angle. He plants, and I know that I've got to get to a spot. He's a strong right-handed player, and I've got to get to a spot where I don't allow him to turn his shoulders at the cage. And then as he's throwing that pass, I kind of give him a little cross check right there to try and throw him off balance, and it actually works out in my favor. And he throws the ball out of bounds.
Good defense, Coach Neek. Way to slip this.
Oh, thanks. I was waiting for that. I was good. I figured you were gonna give me a little bit of credit.
Hey guys, I'm gonna touch on one more thing just because he's our guy. If you guys watch right here, where you see my mouse is, this is Coach Pfister, right? Watch how he switches sides on the guy that he's guarding on the crease. So this is just a little side note. Obviously, we're watching the ball.
Yep.
But off ball is just as important. I want you guys to watch the help guy who's going to be here. It's going to be ball, you, then your man that you're guarding with Coach Pfister here, and you watch him. He shifts side to side, and then he's going to fake like he's going to slide, and then he's going to get right back to his man. So right here, ball, him, the man that he's guarding, right? So he's in great position there. He shifts across as the ball moves, covering the inside, right? So now he's tilted sideways so he can see his man here, and he can also see the ball. He's going to give a little show like he's going to help here when he thinks that Neek needs a little help. Right there, he's going to step upfield, and then he's going to retract right back to his guy that he's guarding, which took away one of those outlets, which forced that pass out of bounds.
Great point, Coach Kelly.
Yeah. Trey, in the last one, I can get that folder. There's two high wing dodges, and then I'll be good for the with the midfield stuff. We can turn it over to Greg. How are we doing on time, Greg? We good?
Yeah, we're good. We'll go about 10 more minutes.
Okay, yeah, so this one, give you guys a little context. So this goes
Train, this is the clip we saw already.
No. Hop back out, Train.
Sorry. I saw the other one.
It should say –
Yeah, I got it. It's over here.
All right, you're good. Two high wing. No, go back out.
Oh, wrong one?
No, wrong one.
Sorry, guys.
It's still us versus the whip snakes. So it should be red and white. That one right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Coach Neek got scored on that last one, so we had
listen.
Gotta move on.
It took me all day to find clips of me playing really good defense, guys. So working with me. I had to go through 8 games of film. So this one, once again, in the beginning of the possession, right? If you were a short stick midfielder, chances are at the beginning of a possession, you're gonna get dodged on. It's fundamentally easier. We only got a 3-foot stick versus dodging one of the other long poles. So this dodge is gonna start right. You notice right here in the beginning. This is my buddy Mark McNeil over here. Right, we're out at the 40-yard line. I'm out the 40-yard line. He's out the 40-yard line. Right, this is gonna slow momentum for those offensive teams. So really, especially when you guys play for Resolute in the summer, we want to really emphasize in the midfield, kind of getting out and not necessarily running after people and sprinting after them, but just being a presence on the field. So we get really good defense. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
And that applies to whether you're a long stick, a short stick. It doesn't matter. Go out and play the ball because, like Coach Alexander was saying, we want to initiate. And if we get beat, most of the time we're going to send help. And if we do, we want to be able to see that early. So it's better to get beat early and high and far away from the cage than it is to get beat right on top of the cage where we can't help and can't support.
You can run this one back, Trey, in the beginning.
All the way?
Yeah, all the way to the beginning, yeah. I'll talk through the first dodge. So once again, right, the kind of point I want to make from the midfield perspective is like good defense is really, really boring. So right here, right, as you see this offensive player set up for his dodge, right, the guy on ball does a good job of stopping from getting top side. He forces it down the side, makes it really easy on his slide guy. Although that was really good defense and he felt like he didn't really have to get slid to, he still recovered as fast as he could. Now I'm on the wing against the righty, and I'm just kind of taking away top side again and then doing my best to drive upfield and not let that guy square his shoulders. So one more time, Train, just to show him. If you could pause it on the backside on the first dodge into the second one, just so they can see 2 of them in a row.
Yeah.
Go back a little bit more.
Oh, you want the one against McNeil?
Yeah, the one against McNeil. So you can see, right, when you guys watch this, he's got 2 hands on his stick, right? He's sitting down nice and low. This guy tries to dodge top side. Boom, he meets him with a cross check, forces him underneath, the slide happens, no big deal, right? It's not a big deal. That guy peels back and forth. Now I'm in a position where once again I'm helping. I got to get back out. I'm taking away top side, right? I'm giving that guy a little bit of space because he's, real shifty, real quick. I don't want to lunge and get beat right away. And then I force him into a bad angle, bad shot right there.
Nice work, Coach Alexander.
It's all right. Cool. So that's all I got. I mean, like I said, once again, right, the midfield stuff, the short stick stuff, take away the middle of the field, keep 2 hands on your stick as far as when you're delivering that cross check. And then if you get slid to, whether you felt like you needed to get slid to or not, always recover as fast as you can, get to the middle, turn around, and find a new guy.
Yeah, and we're going to cover slides and rotations next Tuesday for our defense. Train, go to X Dodge GLE, please.
Coming up.
Thank you. All right, guys, you're going to see a dodge here, and Coach Alexander and I were talking as we were putting these clips together. And one of the things most offenses actually won't initiate from, against the pole or from X. Usually it's a wing, like we talked about, a wing dodge, but they're attacking the short sticks or up top, trying to get the middle. But here we're going to actually see a one-on-one battle between Jules Henenberg, who's obviously a fantastic attackman, and Matt McMahon, who's a fantastic defenseman. There's a couple things that he doesn't do great here in this clip. He's obviously a great defenseman, not taking anything away from him, but there's some things here that he could have done a little bit better. So, okay, freeze it right there, Coach Kelly. Can you go back?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, my thing was flipping a little bit.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so everybody take a look here. Just pause it right back at like 10 seconds and pause it there. Okay, cool. So one of the things you're going to notice here, pause train, is right now with where McMahon is, I would like you guys to have your stick out and be on hands. So, for me and the way I coach is your stick is out, you're on hands. If your stick is out, you're creating space as a defender, and you want that attackman to dodge you 6 feet away. You want him to dodge as far away from you as possible so that you're having a chance to react. You have more time on the defensive side to get to your spots and win your matchup by winning your angles. Okay, as this progresses, okay, McMahon starts by getting him pause train. Okay, he realizes he wants to make contact because his gap, he's losing the gap. He's losing his space here, which happens against good attackmen, okay? The way that you're going to get your space back is by engaging with a cross check. Now, when you see McMahon throw this first cross check, he gets himself in trouble because he's up high. Everybody see where his hands are on the shoulder right there? When you play against a great attackman like he is here in Jules, he's turning his shoulders, he's absorbing that, and he's able to continue forward and continue attacking. We want to throw all of our cross checks, okay, and you saw Coach Alexander do this in his clips, on the hip. You balance, the guy has his balance, and you can control him by making contact on his hips. So you want to get lower, find that hip, it drives the guy off his line, and it allows you to actually move him, and rather than him just absorb it, where if you're up high on his shoulders. So play this forward a little bit here, Coach. Good, now pause. Okay. Now he actually does a nice job of recovering where you see he's low. He's going to hit Henenberg on the hip. But one of the things that he does not do as we move forward in this clip is his right foot. Train, pause it right there. Okay, go back. Exactly. Yeah, he ends up giving up the middle. So you see how his hands extend out over his body? That's going to take his balance forward. And as his balance goes forward, it allows Henenberg to get top side. So can we go back here, Coach Kelly? Okay. Play it here. Okay, and we're going to pause right here. Good. Pause. Perfect. Okay. You see how he's upright, okay, and his feet are together, and he's coming forward. He needs to have his feet wide, an athletic defensive stance, okay, and he needs to take his top foot, his right foot. Coach Kelly, can you show his right foot there? Okay. Yeah, give me a little mouse action there. Like you're doing good. His right foot needs to stay higher than Jules, number 7, Jules Henenberg's left foot. Okay, and you're going to see right here, see how his foot is not in front and his foot is underneath? That foot needs to stay up high so that you do not give up the middle. Henenberg gets a good opportunity or a good chance and just isn't able to convert. McMahon there gets high, gets on the shoulder again, okay? And so right here, as a defender, you want to sit low, you want to play the hips, and you got to have your foot stay top side or else you give up the middle, okay? And you get lucky. Now, trust me, guys, I talked about McMahon here, but I've been beat multiple times, okay, from this position and get given up top side. So when you're playing some of the best attackmen in the world, it's going to happen. But you want to always try and stay low, keep your feet wide, okay, and ride that hip. All right, Coach Kelly.
Looking good. Next one.
Yep.
What do you like?
Go to the
The X?
Yes.
Hey, Greg, that low wing ISO one will be a good clip of Jackson Place on Kavanaugh.
Yeah. Okay.
Taking away top side.
Okay, so let's pause it here, Coach Kelly. Let's go back.
Yep, I got you.
Okay, so just to start, guys, we talked about this. This looks
Bice,
like.
Why don't you let's just run it through one time here real quick.
Okay, that's fine.
Let them take a peek so they know what you're talking about. Pretty nice check at the end.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be a point we can make. Either you or I train at the end of that clip. Just put the ball on the ground and swarming.
Yeah. Okay, so this right here, guys, okay, we talked about it. I'd like that stick to be out in front. Okay, you don't have to throw checks, but you want that stick out to engage that attackman, making him dodge early. Okay, and he gets a little bit flat-footed here when he throws this one-handed check. I'm a fan of you guys. If you can do it, you can throw a one-handed check. I'll never tell you what to throw, what not to throw, but you got to keep those feet moving. Okay, he does a good job of recovering. Pause. Okay. One of the things that you have to understand as a defenseman, you do not have to be the fastest, but if you have great angles, you can recover. Because you are on the inside, you have less steps than the attackman or the guy you're covering because he's on the outside. So you're going to see McMahon take the inside track and get back where he's able to make contact and compete here and not give Jules a hands-free shot, okay? And then you heard Coach talk about right here, whenever that ball's on the ground as a defense, you got to be hungry. You got to go after that thing. You need to pick up the ground ball. When you put it down, you guys got to have that killer instinct where you want that ball and it's going to end up in your stick. So one of the things we talk about all the time, and then this obviously turns into clearing, which is critical as well. When you get stops and you put that ball on the ground, you got to make sure that you are able to get it to your offense.
Hey, Train, let's pause it like right here for 1 second. Hey, so one thing, guys, I've noticed just in the number of years, just, having kind of transitioned to more of a defensive role, and I'm not even sure if Coach Greg, I'm sure he's realized it, but I'm not even sure if he said anything like that before. But one thing I've noticed, just having been involved in invert sets a lot, is I want you guys to look at the back of the goal. When you guys are watching like highlight tapes and stuff like that, and you see guys get, what's it called, Coach Greg? Hammocked? When you get
when you get your feet tied up.
I started doing this, before every game, just kind of taking a peek behind the goal to really see how much space you work with. Because, yeah, you can still cut through the crease, but if you look, those goals are strung up pretty high. And, I always tell my defensemen as a coach, as we start working on drills to go back there, every field, every net's going to be a little bit different. So you always want to kind of take a peek to see how much room you got to work with and see how high you got to get your feet. Because like I said, you guys, all have Instagram and highlight videos and stuff like that. And when you see guys trip over the net and fall down, right, sometimes they think they have more space than they don't. And I think that's also a drill you can work on too, right, is going back there and working on shuffling and kind of getting that sixth sense for where the goal is, so you're not always worried about in the back of your mind, maybe tripping over it and not. And I know it's a little tidbit there, but that's definitely something that I've tried to pay attention to and notice. Maybe you want to get out a little bit more and play guys so that way you're not having to jump, 6 inches off the ground pretty much in your shuffle.
Hey, Coach Alexander, the reason most defensemen end up getting hammocked, which we say tripping behind the net, it's because they're not trailing. They get in front, and then the guy cuts back, and they got to jump over that net.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
All right, guys, this will be our last clip of the night for 1v1. Let's talk through it here. You want to let it play through, Coach Kelly, and then I'll go ahead and talk through it.
Just loading up here. Give me a second.
Max, you taking notes?
Yeah.
Love that. I love that, man.
Max is the only one we can see. We can't see the other ones. We don't know what they're up to. We can see Max.
I saw George was taking a nap.
Anybody sleep? Yeah, find out the kids who are sleeping. See if anyone's asleep.
All right, here we go. This is going to be some good defense here.
Little U-turn right there, a little U-turn adjustment.
Good rotations by you guys, Nick.
Yeah,
Let's play this.
we flew around. Best defense in the league. Best defense in the league. No big deal.
All right, we're going to play this through here, and we're going to end up seeing Jackson place right here on this approach, okay? He does a good job. His stick's not out in front to start here, but it is actually up in the passing lane. So he's taking away that pass by approaching with the stick up, okay? He realizes that this guy's in a dodging position. Notice where he is, okay? We talked about that first clip where the defender was on his shoulders and was up too high. He's on his hip. He's driving him out, okay? And notice here, this is really important. Once he gets this check right here, the cross check to the hip, notice how he doesn't go out chasing him like crazy. He allows that attackman by getting pushed to get his space back. So you see right here, one more time, he's low. He drives on the hip. This guy's going to redodge again on him. All right, he stays low again. He wins that matchup. His angles are good. His feet are good. Okay, and he rides the hip. When you ride the hip, you're going to be in a much better position. And the last thing I want to add here, okay, Train, you can go back just one more time. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about, okay, guys? When you win your matchup like this, okay, watch number 17, Jackson Place. When he realizes this attackman is bailing out, that he's won this first matchup, he throws a check right here, okay? You see that check? Anytime you win your matchup and you drive a guy out, feel free to throw him, okay? You did your job. You worked really hard. The guy is bailing on the cage. That's a free check that you earned as a defenseman, and you 100% should throw.
Hey, guys, I want to make a quick point here as well. Coach Bice is focusing here on the one-on-one, which is great. Nick, I don't want to steal your thunder if you're going to talk about this, but if you guys see Coach Nick right here, right, he's splitting the difference between his man here, which you can see on the right side of his eyes, and over here on the left side. So he's helping. He has to be the adjacent help guy. And now you'll notice when he shows right here, Scott Ratliff, as Perkovic rotates across the top, he needs the help across. And then instead of Nick running back to the crease to recover, he just makes a simple U-turn here. Watch my mouse. He's going to U-turn back across the top and just pick up the near man. So just simple communication here. They talk through it. Easiest rotation right here. He steps in to help, right? So now it's a two-on-one technically. Ratliff steps out to the ball. Nick makes his U-turn back. No one else needs to slide upfield, which is always what you want to try to do when you're defending the ball. So watch this here. Boom, Ratliff steps over, right? He's originally guarding this man here. Steps over, approaches the ball. Nick has time to recover back. Nothing happens, right? So he's right back in business.
Yeah, by Coach Alexander doing that, that breaks the rotation and makes another guy not have to rotate, which we are going to dive into next Tuesday. Great point, Coach Kelly. And that's a great segue for us. Coach Alexander, I don't know if you have any closing thoughts here. We've gone 30 minutes, and I think we've dove into the 1v1 defense. Appreciate all you boys joining us. Make sure, before I turn over to Coach Nick, I just want to say thank you guys for your time. Thanks for coming out. This is a big part of making you a better player. Make sure you guys at home are hitting the jump rope, hitting the stick work. And more than anything, guys, appreciate you guys coming and joining us here tonight. Make sure you also go and just watch as much video as possible. Coach Alexander, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with the current state of, getting back and practicing, I know that we just got the news that high school season and stuff like that were canceled. We're not necessarily sure, just what the summer brings, but you can definitely control, your mental preparation. So, getting on there and watching games, if you have access to the NBC sports stuff and you can watch all the PLL games, go on there and watch, a quarter, a half of a game, just to point out and see if you can see some of the things that Coach Greg and I talked, whether it be good or bad, right? Whether you're watching and you're like, oh, that guy got beat because he took a really bad approach, or that guy played really good defense because he kept his feet moving and he kept his stick out in front. And then the biggest thing is get your family involved, right? Everyone's home right now. So, put a game on TV, get your family involved, explain some of this stuff to your parents, to your, younger siblings, if they're bothering you, older siblings, to help them understand kind of what's going on, because the more you talk about it, the more you explain it, the more it's going to be part of things that you do naturally. Like, the things that Coach Train and Coach Greg and I talked about today, for us, because we've been playing so long and rep them out and have watched them on film, like those things happen naturally. Like that U-turn that Coach Trainers talked about, right? I didn't even think about that. It just happened. I knew where to go, and I knew the scheme, and I was already in the right spot before I knew it. So the more you take those mental reps, the better it's going to be.
Coach Kelly, you got anything?
No, I just didn't know while we have these guys, if anybody has any questions that they wanted to write up real quick, about the clips. What's that, Nick?
Can they put them in like the side over there?
Yeah,
or
you
something?
Put them in the chat section if anybody had a question about any of that or anything that you want us to go over while you got us here. But I think if you guys want to jump off, feel free to jump off.
And Coach Kelly, one of the things I want to add is tomorrow night we're going to be doing offense. You're going to be talking through offense. And I would highly encourage all of you defensive players to jump on and listen to that.
There we go.
So you understand what the offensive players are trying to do, how they're trying to attack, and so some of the things that you can recognize. So we'll give it a couple minutes here. If you guys want to drop a line, a question in the chat box, go ahead and we'll try and answer that. And if not, you guys are free to log off. And like we said, tomorrow night we're going to do some offensive series. Coach Jasinski, Coach Pfister, and Coach Train are going to lead that. And then on Thursday, we're going to do some box lacrosse. Coach Kelly and Coach Alexander, I think he's free on Thursday night. I don't think he's doing anything we expect him to be.
Let me check my schedule.
On that box
We're
session.
good. We're good.
So appreciate the time, boys. If you guys got a question, go ahead and put it in the chat box. And everybody else, you're good to go.
Greg, can you see? Greg and Train, you can see questions.